In the spring of 1973, the quiet town of Enfield, Illinois, became the unlikely backdrop for a bizarre and unforgettable event, one that would briefly place this small Midwestern community on the map of cryptid and UFO enthusiasts worldwide. Known primarily for its rural charm and tight-knit community, Enfield had never experienced anything particularly out of the ordinary. That was until one fateful night in April when a local man named Henry McDaniel encountered something that would defy explanation: the Enfield Monster. It was April 25th, 1973, when McDaniel's life changed forever. That night, he was at home when he heard an unsettling noise coming from outside. Thinking it might be a stray animal, he grabbed his flashlight and gun, stepping out onto his porch to investigate. What he saw under his beam of his flashlight chilled him to his core. Just beyond his porch stood a creature unlike anything he had ever seen, described as about 4 to 5 feet tall, with short arms and covered in something that resembled grayish, leathery skin. It was the eyes that truly stood out, glowing pink. They pierced through the darkness. But even more unnerving was its movement. It had 3 legs, and it didn't walk, but seemed to hop in an awkward, unnatural manner, using one of its legs to push itself forward like a spring. McDaniel reacted instinctively, firing several shots at the creature. Though he was certain he hit it, the being seemed unfazed, quickly hopping away toward a nearby railroad embankment, disappearing into the night. Shaken, McDaniel reported the incident to the local police, who found strange footprints near his property. The prints were unusual, 4-toed, deep, and oddly shaped, not resembling any known animal in the area. News of McDaniel's encounter spread quickly through the town. Some residents were skeptical, dismissing the sighting as a prank or a case of mistaken identity, perhaps an animal or even a strange person. Others, however, weren't so quick to dismiss his claims, particularly when more reports began to surface. Just a few days earlier, 2 local boys had claimed they were chased by a mysterious creature matching McDaniel's description while playing near the same railroad tracks. Their story was eerily similar. They described glowing eyes and an unnatural, hopping movement that terrified them. For the residents of Enfield, the strange occurrences became the talk of the town, but McDaniel's sighting wouldn't be the end of the story. After the initial encounter with the monster, McDaniel reported that he continued to experience strange phenomena around his property. On more than one occasion, he claimed to see strange lights in the sky near his home. These lights appeared suddenly, hovering above the trees before vanishing as quickly as they appeared. To McDaniel, these UFO sightings felt too coincidental to ignore. He began to wonder if the Enfield Monster was... Are you enjoying today's story? Smash that subscribe button so you never miss another spine-chilling tale. Let's get back to the video, connected to something extraterrestrial. The idea of UFOs and cryptids sharing a connection wasn't new, especially in the early 1970s. In fact, the year 1973 was part of a large wave of UFO sightings across the United States. The Midwest in particular saw a surge in reports of strange craft and lights in the sky. Neighboring states like Missouri, Kentucky, and Ohio were hotspots for these sightings, and Illinois wasn't immune to the phenomenon. One of the most famous UFO encounters of the year happened just months after the Enfield Monster incident, the Pascagoula abduction in Mississippi, where 2 men claimed to have been taken aboard an alien craft by strange, robotic beings. Though this event happened far from Enfield, The timing of these UFO encounters and McDaniel's continued reports of strange lights only added fuel to the speculation that the creature might not have been from this world. As bizarre as the Enfield Monster was, it wasn't the only cryptid making headlines in the 70s. Across the country, stories of mysterious creatures were surfacing in small towns and rural communities. In Fouke, Arkansas, just a year earlier, sightings of a Bigfoot-like creature known as the Fouke Monster or the Boggy Creek Monster captured national attention. The Loch Ness Monster was also back in the public eye, as renewed searches for the creature were being conducted in Scotland. But despite the growing list of strange creatures being reported across the globe, the Enfield Monster remained unique. Its three-legged, hopping movement and glowing pink eyes set it apart from the larger, hairier creatures like Bigfoot or the Mothman, who was famously sighted in West Virginia during the late 1960s. Unlike Bigfoot or Mothman, however, the Enfield Monster would not become a recurring mystery. After the flurry of sightings in April 1973, it seemed to vanish as quickly as it had appeared, never to be seen again in the town of Enfield, or anywhere for that matter. What could the Enfield Monster have been? To this day, no one can say for certain. Cryptid researchers have floated several theories, ranging from an extraterrestrial being, to a mutated animal, to even being a hoax. Some have even compared it to the other mysterious beings, like the Dover Demon or the Chupacabra, but none fit the creature's unique description. What adds to the mystery is the fact that Enfield, Illinois, doesn't have a history of frequent paranormal or UFO activity. The town was and remains a quiet, unassuming place, far removed from the usual cryptid or UFO hotspots. Yet, for a brief moment in the spring of 1973, it became the center of a strange and unexplained event that left its mark on those who witnessed it. Though the Enfield Monster never returned, and sightings of strange lights faded from the sky, the story still lingers as a puzzling chapter in the annals of cryptid lore. For the residents who lived through it, and for Henry McDaniel, the memory of those glowing pink eyes staring out from the darkness remains a haunting reminder that sometimes the unknown is closer than we think. Thank you for watching.